You guys want to hear something absolutely insane? Leave my credit card, and I was just as confused as you when I was trying to figure this out.
These are the 5 lessons I learned from Alex Hormozi's social media success. The first thing, which is obvious, and we'll go ahead and get it out of the way, is thumbnails, titles, intros, and hooks. For example, I got you to click on the video because I included Alex in the thumbnail, and then Alex in the title, and then Alex was the first, 5 to 10 seconds, whatever it is. And then my intro had a hook that at least kept you listening till right now. And then his videos will quickly go into the rest of the subject. So he has a compelling thumbnail that at least gets you to click, a title that's very searchable, and then a hook that keeps you listening to at least the next point. And that's what I tried to emulate. I'm not perfect at it, I'm not great at it, but I'm getting better, hopefully. Now let's get to the next point. Ignorance tax. The ignorance tax is a term that I first learned from him, and it's predicated on the idea of how much is it costing you to not make $1 million a year. So if you make $100,000 a year, it costs you $900,000 to not make $1 million. The point of that is he started with whatever he had, whatever he knew, because he knew the quicker he started, the quicker he could pay down the ignorance tax. So he could start making more money from social media, gaining more followers, having more influence over the people he was trying to influence. So there were 2 excuses I realized I was making. The first one was, where am I gonna film? And the second one was, how or who was gonna film me? So I live in an apartment complex, and I was like, dude, I don't know where to film. But then I was like, I'm just gonna film in the clubhouse. It's gonna be a little awkward and embarrassing because people are gonna see me with a camera, but I was like, whatever, I'll just do it anyways. The second one was, well, I know some guy, he might be able to film for me. He sucks, but I could film anyways. But I decided to show up every single day anyways. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna show up, we're gonna film, we're gonna try our best. We're gonna suck at it first. We still don't know what we're doing. What you see on camera looks pretty good, but you would be like, dang, they really don't know what they're doing if you just saw. But I decided to show up every day, and that's the second point that brings me to Alex's success. Consistency. Alex Hormozi has been posting 1 to 3 times per week for the past several years, every single week. He doesn't miss. He is married to the action and not the result. He prides himself on his ability to show up and post and record whatever he needs to get done to grow his social media. He is not worried about the result of it. That will come with hard work, the quantity, the quality, whatever else. As long as he is doing these things right over here, then he will get to the result that he's looking for. So I decided to adopt this same mentality. Instead of getting upset about getting no views, I get excited that I showed up, I recorded, my filmer edits it, we post it, it makes it look nice, and we put it out, knowing that if consistently over time, we will eventually be successful in what we're trying to do. I know I only have 2 options. The first is to succeed, and the second one is to quit before I succeed. Because over a long enough time horizon, I will eventually succeed. I have no clue when that is. Maybe that's 3 years, maybe it's 10 years, but I will continue marrying myself to the action until we hit that success mark, whatever I decide that is. But I can't just post crap for the next 10 years. I have to continuously pay down the ignorance tax, get better at what I do, and provide value. And that leads me into my next lesson I learned from Alex Hormozi, value. I have not seen, read, or experienced anyone communicate the way that Alex Hormozi does. It's almost like he's a walking book. He literally knows exactly what he's gonna say before he says it. He speaks in a manner that makes you wanna listen. He never gets off on a tangent, and if he does, he knows exactly what he's gonna say, and that story pertains exactly to what he's talking about, and it's a perfect metaphor. He speaks in wisdom. Another notable thing about his communication is its pure value. It's honestly incredible how little fluff he adds to his words and how much value he provides without going down any rabbit holes, any tangents, unless those tangents are specifically applied to the subject he's talking about. He's able to communicate to you as if you're a 3rd grader so that you feel smart for understanding his complex idea, rather than these other gurus who speak about concepts you've never heard of so that you feel like you need to continue listening to them so that you understand what they know. Like when really they're just trying to reach into your pocket. The biggest takeaway for me is I need to think before I talk. If I can think before I talk, I will provide more value for the social media, and then I will provide more value to my clients and my business. The last thing that he does that I try to implement is the quantity, the amount of times that he posts. He used to post, 7 times a week, and then he's like, man, I'm doing all the right things, but I'm not seeing the success that I thought I should be seeing. So he goes to Grant Cardone, and Grant Cardone's like, dude, just 10x it, just absolutely blow it out of the water. So he goes from posting 8 times a week to posting 80 times a week. And it wasn't that he was recording that much more or doing that much more, but he created a system around posting more. But what can I take away from that? While I don't have the huge team that he has, it's just me and my filmer, I'm gonna try to put out as much quantity as well as quality as possible that I can handle, that my filmer can handle. And that's by doing these long form contents that you see here, creating just film days where we film as much as possible. So that's why I'm typically wearing the same shirt, because we just batch film. And then that allows us to cut up the content and contextualize it for each platform. So Instagram will look different, YouTube will look different, but it's all the same stuff. And so that's what we're trying to take away from what Alex does. And again, if I just stay married to the action, I'll see the result. So that's it for today's video. If you haven't already seen Alex Hormozi's stuff, please check out his podcast, his YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. He's way better at business and way better at social media than I am. I just take away what I can from it. And if you happen to see this, Alex, please leave a comment tearing the video apart, whatever else you want to do. If you liked any part of this video, leave a like, subscribe, it really does help. And if you disliked any part of this video, please leave a dislike so I know. Thank you, my name is Tristan, I'm out.